right. Um, where did I leave off? I was talking about home life and some of the things that happened in our childhood upbringing. Um, I think it's really important to understand, like I said, I don't think my parents were necessarily intentional and knowledgeable about any of these things, and definitely not aware of like the damage that it would cause to raise children in this environment. So let's give them some grace. Uh, like I said, they were just doing the best with the tools that they had. And so, yeah, I think a lot of research will show you for sure that there's better ways to raise a family. But I think it's really important to understand, because I know this is something that me and my siblings talk about a lot, is that we felt very alone, and that do other people have this experience? Like, have other people been through something like this intense? Because as we encounter people, right, I think we kind of feel a little bit like aliens in a lot of sense of like, we didn't have normalcy, right? We didn't really learn how to be with people in healthy ways. And so I think this is a really important story to tell post-COVID, right? So that we have a little bit more empathy for what people have gone through in that situation, as far as like isolation and the long-term effects that it's going to have. I can tell you, as someone who's been through that times 10, it is extremely damaging. And so it's really important that we really learn of our shared humanity on like how to do better and how to be better for each other. And that is one of the reasons why I'm telling this story. So yeah, obviously it's not easy for me, so be patient with me, because like I said, this is not the piece that I experienced, and so talking about it obviously puts me back in that mindset, and you can probably tell just in my demeanor how I've shifted, right? And so we're gonna take this part very slowly. We might have more videos than expected. All right, so we kind of learned a little bit about like what the environment was like. No one's really having a clear picture of what's happening inside of the household. My dad's very much managing communication both in and out, and essentially my mom and my siblings, we're prisoners, and my dad is the warden, right? As I start to get older and I started to see other people and other families like on TV and how people interact, that seems unreal to me. Like, I do not believe that that's how real families work. Like, people actually talk to each other about their feelings and sit down and, you know, have fun together, and they enjoy each other. Like, people have extended family and they gather for holidays. These shows and TV shows and things seem like fantasy. Like, they don't seem real to me, and I had no idea that's how people really lived outside of my experience until I was much older, honestly, until I got to college. So the duality is, like I said, people really like my dad. Like, my dad has friends, colleagues, people that he works with. Like, those folks are welcome when he invites them to come over and hang out, and he'll go hang out with his friends occasionally. And these people really love my dad. He's so smart, he's so funny, he's so kind, he's such a great worker. And I start to like have this sense of like error. Like, what is going on here? Like, yeah, it seemed like there's two different people. Like, outside the house, my dad is beloved and he's such a great guy and he's like upstanding, but then at home, my dad he's basically a warden, right? Like, it really felt like I lived in prison. My dad would always be up in the middle of the night, stomping around the house. He would come and inspect me and my brothers sleeping, and if we weren't sleeping, he would yell at us. He was constantly up at like 2, 3 in the morning, slamming doors, screaming at my mom about like how she wasn't managing the money properly, the house wasn't clean, or that she was lying about something, that she was betraying him in some way. Nothing was ever done right. And there would be literal like nights that I wake up and they were just screaming, and it was mostly my dad screaming at my mom and my mom just trying to like just be a wall basically and hide. I'd like to say that this wasn't very common, but this was extremely common. Regular, weekly, daily occurrence. So, yeah, nothing was ever done right in my dad's view. Like, I remember getting hit for having a sock that was laying on the floor in my room and I didn't clean my room properly. Meanwhile, like, I didn't understand for like other people, like our house was pristine. Like, if I had stepped into any other home of like people with children at that time, our home would have looked like a set from a TV show. Like, it was absurd. But yet nothing was ever good enough for him. You could have everything put away, think it's put away, and then he would still find something to yell at you that you didn't do correctly. Yeah, I learned later my mom was in charge of like paying all the bills and finances, and I think that was because she had a background in banking. I don't think my dad really understood like money, finances, or anything at all, and I think that shows in some of the financial decisions that he made, like as far as like spending money, saving money. Excellent. My dad definitely did a really great job with that. Sorry. We'll have to edit and come back to that, or maybe I'll just leave it in because I'm lazy. Anyways, so my mom was responsible for all the billing and finances in the house, and like that was always a big point of contention, was the money. And that I never felt like we were impoverished or poor or anything of that sense. Like, we definitely had it was lower middle class, but we had middle class experience. But I think, yeah, it was, I don't know, maybe because he didn't understand it, it made it harder in that space as she was responsible for it. I don't know, but there was a lot of fighting about money and finances in our household. I'm gonna stop there, and we will talk more about some of the other things that happened in another video.